Hello everybody. Good evening. This is our first, actually my second time in Udaipur. Shilpa's first time. But yeah, I came here for the first time as a tourist. And yeah, okay, I think we're ready to begin.
Yeah, we're ready to begin. Thank you. Thank you for joining us so late in the evening, on such a chilly evening, that too. I remember traveling to my native place to meet my grandmother during Dasra. Sometimes we travel together to go watch this play during Dasra called Yella Manata. It was an overnight play, it would happen in the middle of town. And coming from Dalit households, our houses were in the periphery of the village, and my grandmom would tell me during this festival we could proudly walk into the village. So we'd walk. Thank you. We'd walk, and on the way, you'd slowly have people come and join with their mufflers and blankets and pillows and really getting comfy. And as you walked further and further into the village, you would see more street lights, more speakers, and finally the Lakshmi temple, in which there would be an overnight play that would take place with lots of song, lots of merry, and lots of tragedy. And this is her story. What about now?
You'll have to get up.
You want me to get up? So, the one thing that I would notice as a child, song rise into the air. Ghagri. And it goes like this. Kuntale kuntilla nintale nintilla ye ramu ramu.
Hey Ramu Ramu.
Kuntale kuntilla nintale nintilla ye ramu ramu.
Hey Ramu Ramu.
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಹಿಡದಾಳ ದಾರಿ ಏ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಹಿಡ್ದಾಳ ದಾರಿ ಏ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು.
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಹಿಡದಾಳ ದಾರಿ ಏ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಹಿಡ್ದಾಳ ದಾರಿ ಏ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು.
ಕಾಡು ಸುತ್ತಾಡ್ಯಾಳ ವಾಡೆ ಸುತ್ತಾಡ್ಯಾಳ ಏ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು
ಹೇ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು.
ಕಾಡು ಸುತ್ತಾಡ್ಯಾಳ ವಾಡೆ ಸುತ್ತಾಡ್ಯಾಳ ಏ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು
ಹೇ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು.
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಹಿಡದಾಳ ದಾರಿ ಏ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಹಿಡ್ದಾಳ ದಾರಿ ಏ ರಾಮು ರಾಮು.
The story that was being told was that of Renuka Yallamma.
Udha udha.
Udha, udha. Once upon a time, there was a king, Renuka Raja.
And a queen, Bhogavati Devi.
Renuka Raja and Bhogavati Devi were benevolent rulers. They were loved by their people. But the people spoke behind their back because they did not have an heir to the throne. So, the husband and wife sat down and did what any couple could do best. They prayed to Shiva. Homas, Havanas, Yagnas, weeks together. Shiva was convinced of their commitment and blessed them with a baby girl, Renuka. And Renuka grew up to be a virtuous princess. She was beautiful. She was compassionate. She was empathetic. She wanted to be an environmental scientist. In short, she was Sundar, Sushil, Gunavanti. Like Mr. Patnaik was saying, Sati, Savitri types. One day, a Swami comes to the king's court and he says,
Renuka Raja, I want a pot of water fresh from the river so I can wash my feet, hands and face before I enter your court. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. She heard this, got excited, went running to her daddy and said, Daddy, Daddy, this man is a Shiva Bhakta. I am a Shiva Bhakta. If I do this for this man, Shiva will be impressed with me. Please, can I do this for this dada?
Sure, my child. Take your friends along with you.
And so she went. This actually reminds me of the first time Adi and myself watched the Yella Manata.
Yeah. It was when we first got married. I think 2011, around then.
About 15 years ago. And this is the scene that is playing out. There's a trans woman, almost always. Renuka is played by a transgender woman, and she is circling the stage with her sakhis, who are played by two toothless old men. And one toothless old man says, Yala Renuka, ishtu hudugar javan mandi kuntara yurag yaring madi agati.
Renuka, there are so many eligible bachelors sitting in this audience. If you had to choose, who would you get married
I
to?
choose him. No, I mean. But she turned around and she said, Na yunige madi agtini.
She pointed right at me. All of the audience turned and looked at me in unison. I froze. I had no idea what to do.
But the old man, he didn't skip a beat. He turned around and said, Yala huchu suli, avaniಗೆ hang madi agati? Na ata madisila, aur alya hana.
She used some profanity. I don't want to.
Okay,
Said,
fine.
don't be stupid. You know the person who's paid for this play? It's his new son-in-law. You can't get married to him.
And just like that, Adi was sucked into the play, spat back out, and the play moved on. The girls walked into the forest, full of gossip. Imagine an old Vico turmeric ad is happening the whole time. They land up in the river, they're playing in the water. They finally pick up that pot of water, fill it, and Renuka is walking back home. When, from deep within the forest, she hears a voice. Om Namah Shivaya. Who is that, she wonders. A deep, male voice, like an obstinate force, grabs hold of her. She starts to walk deeper and deeper into the forest, wanting to know who it is. She walks, and keeps walking till she finds a clearing in the forest. And at the edge of this clearing, there stands a large, magnificent tree. In the shade of that tree sits a man, bare-chested, with a dhoti, janivara, nama, patte everywhere. Salt and pepper hair is dancing on his face, and six-pack abs are glistening under the sweat. His Rudrakshi male sits on his ripped chest. She looks at him and she goes, she takes a look at him. She's like, Swami, marry me. Marry me.
Who are you?
I
am Jamadagni, one of the Saptarishis. I live under this sky and off this earth. You look like some princess from some palace.
I am.
Not interested. Get lost.
Daddy! She goes back home running. She says, Daddy, I went to the forest. I met this man. I fell in love with him. I told him to marry me. Guess what he said, Daddy?
What did he say?
Get lost.
Who could say that to my daughter?
Now he went nuts. He went twice up Renuka's feeling. He took it upon himself to find out who is this Jamadagni. And when he found out he was Agastya's student, he calls upon Agastya and says, Agastya, what is wrong with my daughter? What is wrong with your student? How can he say no to my daughter? Ask him to marry. Agastya calls upon Jamadagni. He says, Agastya.
He says Jamadagni.
Oh, sorry. Agastya calls upon Jamadagni. And he says, Jamadagni. Know when to say no. We will always need the patronage and protection of kings. That girl is harmless, marry her. And Jamadagni says,
Okay, whatever.
and they get married. Big wedding like the Ambani's wedding. Huh? kites flying everywhere, bringing in guests and celebrities, lots of drinking, merrymaking. Maybe not drinking, no? Is it?
Karobar.
Lots of merrymaking.
Karobar.
Karobar. Lots of merrymaking. And after which, Renuka decides she is going to say bye to everything that she has known all her life and go live in the forest with her new husband. So she says her byes. Tauramani tali kwatiye, atimani akal kwatiye, karila ka bandhun maidun dhariye, nada deva gida mariye, nada deva gida mariye. She's saying bye to flora, fauna, everything that belongs in the environment that she grew up in. She's saying bye to. Haro chitti haro paki, huvina dandi hannina rambi, tamma tangi tandi tai, nada deva gida mariye. They've walked for days, weeks, maybe months, I'm not counting. And not a word has passed. Not a sentence has been spoken between them. But the girl, her heart is full of hope and her head is full of dreams. She's thinking, how will I make this man happy? I'm going to cook him new dishes every day. I'll put new rangoli designs outside. I will reupholster the hall. I will get some throws and I'll put some curtains on and he's going to love me. After all, this is my happily ever after, she says.
But as soon as Renuka steps into her new house's doorway, Jamadagni calls out to her.
Renuka!
Yes, Swami.
Renuka, you see that mountain over there?
Yes, Swami.
You have to climb up and down this mountain. On the other side of this mountain, there is Malaprabha Nadi. You have to sit down here by this river and bring me a pot of water, Renuka.
Okay, Swami.
There's more. You have to sit down on the sandy banks of Malaprabha Nadi and make me a pot out of sand, Renuka, not clay. Sand.
Okay, Swami.
There's more. You have to coax a snake to sit on your head as a holster. You have to place this pot of sand, fill it with water and place it on the snake and bring that water back to me.
Okay, Swami.
She said and she headed off. She walked up and down the mountain. She sat down on the sandy banks of Malaprabha Nadi. And she summoned all her existence into power and she prayed. Udha, 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 pot. Then she hypnotized a snake. Udha, 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 udha. Snake. It came, coiled on her head, and settled into a holster. She filled the pot of sand with water, placed it on the snake, and she heads back home. She's thinking, "Chee, naughty fellow. He's only testing me. Of course he knew I could do this. And now he's going to love me. And love me how?"
Jamadagni had actually given Renuka an impossible task, hoping that she would never return. So when she did, he was shocked.
Renuka.
Yes, Swami.
Abba, Renuka.
Yes, Swami.
You're magical.
Thank you, Swami.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
You're stupendous, Renuka.
Thank you, Swami.
I know what you're going to do. Every day, you're going to bring me water just like this for my puja.
Okay, Swami.
And she accepted her fate and she did this every day. She'd walk up and down the mountain. She'd sit down on the sandy banks of the river. And she'd pray out of love, out of dedication, out of commitment. She would pray. She'd make the pot bring water, make the pot bring water, make the pot bring water. Ye yawa bitri. Uda. Pot is getting made. Just when she's about to pick up this pot and fill it in the river, she looks up and she sees a couple in the river. They've come for picnic. They're in the water and they're enjoying themselves. They're splashing water on each other. They're touching each other. They're hugging each other. They're kissing. No. Come. She sees this and she's thinking, this must be love. But if that is love, what do I have? For a fraction of a second, that thought occurred to her, that question, that doubt occurred to her. And in that second, the pot broke. She's like, oh, pot broke. We have to put it back together. Udha. Not happening. She's wasted too much time. She's panicked a little, but she tells herself, small technical difficulty, it's a little off, the day is a little off, I'm sure he'll understand, and she walks back home.
Jamadagni, who was waiting for the pot of water all day, did not even give Renuka a chance to explain herself. He just lost it.
Renuka!
Swami!
Yashta dhairya ninaka.
Swami!
How dare you disobey me?
Swami.
How dare you disrespect me?
But Swami-
How dare you
But
be disloyal to me?
Swami.
You do not have a pot in the hand and that says many things.
Oh, Swami.
I've never had a use for a wife like you, Renuka. Leave me. I banish you to the forest. Get lost.
No!
Kuntalle kuntilla nintalle nintilla Rama. Kuntalle kuntilla nintalle nintilla Rama. Hinge yallamma hidudala dhariye Ramara.
Hinge yallamma hidudala dhariye Ramara.
She's been banished to the forest. She doesn't know what to do. She decides, I'll walk to the nearest help that I can find. Kaadu suttadala, vada suttadala Rama. Hinge yallamma hidudala dhariye Ramara.
Hinge yallamma hidudala dhariye Ramara.
Everything I have known, I put into this man, and now he's kicked me out of the house. But I have to make this work, she tells. She tells herself, I will work. I know how to work. I can work. I will go ask someone if I can grind their flour. If I can kootna, piecna, kuch bhi karungi, but I will try. She lands up at a house and she says, I want to grind your flour. Kuttavra maniyali kuttalu hodare Rama. Kuttara maniyali kuttalu hodare Rama. Banji vandalendu tatti muchara ye Ramara.
Banji vandalendu tatti muchara ye Ramara.
We do not want you to come into our house, people tell her. You are a banj. You don't have a child. You don't have a husband. You might run away with mine. So no doors open for her. And she keeps walking. She says, if no one will let me work, I will beg for a living. Na joga bedtinappa, na joga bedtin, she says. Joga means to beg. Angayyaga hadgi mungayyaga dholgi Rama. Angayyaga hadgi mungayyaga dholgi Rama. Agla jogakke tanade dala ye Ramara.
Agla jogakke tanade dala ye Ramara.
Banji vandalendu dhari bittara ye Ramara.
Banji vandalendu dhari bittara ye Ramara.
People are giving her the way, saying, we will not even give you alms. We do not want you, a single woman, to settle in our village. Keep walking, they tell her. Keep walking. And she keeps walking. She gets tired. She sits down under a tree and she prays to Shiva. It's not more like a prayer. She sits down and she summons Shiva. Udha, 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 udha. And Shiva appears.
Renuka!
Shivaya,
Renuka!
Tande,
Renuka!
Shiva.
Renuka!
Mundware.
What are you doing so far away from your husband in this god-forsaken forest?
That husband, Shiva.
Hmm.
He kicked me out of the house saying I am disloyal, Shiva. Disloyal.
Stupid fellow.
I know.
What can I do for you, Renuka?
In this process, I have lost a reason to live, Shiva.
Don't worry, why don't you just go back to your parents' house?
I can't. I already told them I want to marry this fool. Now this fool has kicked me out of the house. Too much self-respect, Shiva. I have
Fine,
to make
fine.
it work.
I have a way to make this happen. I will give you a reason to live.
Okay.
I will establish a linga here.
Okay.
You will build a temple around it.
Me.
Yes. Then you will travel near, far, find devotees, followers, and they will take care of you for the rest of your life, Renuka. And in this process, you will achieve Mukti, Renuka, Mukti.
Mukti.
Yes.
Mukti. But I don't want that.
Who doesn't want Mukti?
Shiva, I asked you for Mukti. Do one thing, Shiva. Give me a child, Shiva.
You have to be kidding me, Renuka. Not possible.
Why, Shiva?
You're alone, no husband by your side. What will people say?
That is my problem, Shiva. You give me a child.
No. I can't give you any more. I mean, I've given away all the wishes I had to, none left to give.
Shiva, look where I'm standing. If you don't give me a child, I pretty much don't have a life. You either give me a child or kill me, Shiva. Give me a child that is born to me today and dies the next day, but give me a child, Shiva. ಸಂಜೆನೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಲಿ ಮುಂಜಿನೆ ಸಾಯಲಿ ಹೇ ರಾಮೋ ರಾಮೋ ಸಂಜೆನೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಲಿ ಮುಂಜಿನೆ ಸಾಯಲಿ ಹೇ ರಾಮೋ ರಾಮೋ ನನಗೊಂದು ವರವ ಕೊಡೋ ಹಡದಯ್ಯ ಹೇ ರಾಮೋ ರಾಮೋ ನನಗೊಂದು ವರವ ಕೊಡೋ ಹಡದಯ್ಯ ನನಗೊಂದು ವರವ ಕೊಡೋ ಹಡದಯ್ಯ ನನಗೊಂದು ವರವ
Okay, fine. I will give you a child.
Okay.
Better yet, it'll be a son. But one small problem this child has.
What's the small problem, Shiva?
See, this child is going to be extremely difficult during pregnancy, during childbirth, even more so when he's growing up.
That is every child, Shiva.
Yeah. You as a mother are going to love him, nourish him,
I'll do.
nurture him. He will grow up to be a fantastic young man. He will be recorded in the books of history. But one day,
Good deal.
he will turn around and kill you, Renuka.
Kill me.
Small problem.
It's okay, Shiva. The way things are going, it's better to live as a mother than to live at all. Give me this child, Shiva. Give me this child. Bananas?
Yeah. I'll give you some instructions. So you have to find a source of water. Drink 3 hands full.
Okay.
Consume these bananas.
Okay.
And you shall be pregnant. Tathastu.
So that's all, Shiva. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you, she says. The instructions are simple. She has to find water. So she walks. She walks till she finds a little pond. She puts her hand in the pond, and the pond evaporates. Odd. She continues to walk. She finds a stream. She puts her hand underneath the stream, and the stream recedes. Okay. She keeps walking till she finds Malaprabha Nadi. She puts her hand in the river, and the entire river disappears. Shiva, really? Was that really necessary? How many lives are you going to take from keeping this one woman from getting pregnant? I'm going to sit right here and I'm going to wait for that water to come, she says, and she sits down with the bananas in hand.
So Renuka waits for the rains to come. The season comes, but there's not a single drop of rain. So she decides she's going to wait longer. She waits another entire year. No rains. The entire region was affected by a severe drought. In the same vicinity, making their way towards Renuka, was a king and his army. Returning from battle after having conquered a nearby town, they noticed Renuka sitting there in the middle of nowhere. And they decided to go approach her and ask for her help.
Bruised, battered, hungry and parched from all the raping and pillaging, they approach me.
Devi, I am Kartiviraja from Saudati. My men and I are tired and hungry and parched. Can you help us?
Kartiviraja, I'm sitting with 2 bananas in my hand. These are mine. Go to Jamadagni. He sits on Gokakagudda and he will help you. He will surely help you. Go.
Chalo.
And he left. He and his men march up Gokak Hill, and find Jamadagni. And Jamadagni welcomes them with open arms. He learnt well.
The man couldn't take care of one wife, but could take care of the entire army.
Correct. And well. Very well. He gave them enough to eat. He gave them enough to drink. He gave them enough to smoke whatever they wanted to smoke. And they're having a gala time, and the king starts to wonder.
What an amazing environment. So much abundance. But how?
Turns out it was the holy cow. It was Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu was Jamadagni's cow. And she could materialize anything you could imagine. So there, Kartiviraja started to think again.
This Kamadhenu, what a beautiful creature. I want her. I need her. I shall have her.
And saying this, he sends his men. Kamadhenu butts with her horns. She kicks with her hind legs. She does some severe damage, but she doesn't budge an inch. She looks at Kartiviraja and she says, Kartiviraja, stop wasting your time. I'm eternally bound to Jamadagni. I go where he goes. And so Kartiviraja has to think again. A lot of thinking for a king. He waits. He waits for Jamadagni to sit down for his meditation. He sneaks up behind him, pulls out his sword from a sheath, and beheads Jamadagni. Then he turns Jamadagni's head into a locket, ties it around Kamadhenu's neck, and marches Kamadhenu back to Saudati, his kingdom. While they're marching Kamadhenu, she has to cross Malaprabha Nadi's dry river bed. Jamadagni's freshly severed head is dripping blood/DNA onto the riverbed. Shiva sees this as an opportune moment, opens Ganga, lets her flow as Malaprabha Nadi, mixing the DNA, reaching downstream to Renuka. You're following me, yeah? She drinks 3 handsful of water, she eats her bananas, and then she becomes pregnant.
And Renuka is pregnant with none other than the undefeated champion of the South, the axe wielder, the widow maker, the bloodthirsty Parashurama.
And he was a very difficult child to bear, to say the least. There's a version we found when we were researching this folk tale where Parashurama was such a Puritan, he did not want to come down his mother's vagina. He broke her back open, split her back, and birthed himself.
C-section of sorts.
Worse.
On the back.
Worse.
One of the versions that we watched, the actor playing Renuka hid this doll under her sari while she was sitting on the stage.
Yeah, you remember those dolls which had those eyelids which would open and close if you moved them? You remember those? And this particular one has camo overalls and shoes on them. She sits like this, the trans woman, with her legs open, shoves the doll in, and then it goes far away into the audience. The old man, the toothless old man who's now playing a neighbor, comes running, picks up the doll and says, "Yenakosa, yenakosa, yenakosa, Renuka. Neenu hotte somar santi agyad nodu."
What a beautiful child, Renuka. Is your womb like a Monday market because this child has come out all dressed up and ready?
I know if there are actors or artists in the crowd, you will understand the improvisation and the liberty a folk artist has. It's unmatched. It's unmatched. Just like that. That camo overalls and shoes, everything got sucked into the play, and we were shocked. After this point, what happens is that particular doll is given a bath because it's a newborn child.
Sometimes what they do also is they pick up one of the naughty kids in the crowd who's disrupting everything. They pull him up and they give the kid
him
a
a bath publicly in front of you. Don't worry, none of y'all are getting a bath today. In this weather, I drop bath altogether. After this point, there's one more little scene, which is not really a scene, it's a ritual. Women in the audience then come onto stage, pick up this doll, put it into a little cradle they make out of a towel or a dupatta, and they swing it to sleep. And these are not actors, mind you. These are women who want to have a child and haven't had a child, who have a sick child at home, who have a mannat that's still waiting on some God's doorstep. And so they come and become a part of this ritual and sing the baby to sleep. We'll sing you a lullaby. Don't sleep. तूगताळा जाल वैयारी आनंदमाई तूगताळा जाल वैयारी तूगताळा जाल वैयारी आनंदमाई तूगताळा जाल वैयारी तूगी तूगी सापळदाग गप्पने रामा मल ग्यानव्वा
गप्पने रामा मल ग्यानव्वा
गप्पने रामा मल ग्यानव्वा
गप्पने रामा मल ग्यानव्वा
about this song is what it's saying is there are 4 mothers who have come to raise this child. Parshurama was such a difficult child to bring up. She brought in more women to help her bring up this child. And Toogatala Jalvayari is to say that these mothers came together and wove a whole Maya Jala. An entire world was woven for Parshurama to live and breathe in. And with that lullaby, you see Parshurama has grown up. And him being Shiva's blessing, he was an extraordinary child. He was growing up, made friends with the kids in the nearby village, started playing with them, started beating them at their own game, because Parshurama was faster than any kid, smarter than any kid, stronger than any kid. So one kid who lost to him one day turns around and says, "Yeah, Parshu, tera baap kaun hai be?"
Baap?
The kids immediately know.
Father?
The kids immediately know there's something up with this kid. They start to make fun of him. They start to make fun of the mother. Parshurama feels the insult. A teenage kid now. He's broken. He's bruised. He's angry. He comes back home screaming at his mother.
Mother!
Parshu, Rama, helappe.
Who is my father? Do you even know who he is? Do you know what the people in the village are saying? What kind of a woman are you?
she tries to explain. She tries to explain to him, saying, Parshurama, you don't need a father, you need me. And I've been here with you, I've raised you. But he will not listen. And what's worst is, yet again, Renuka's chastity, her purity has been questioned. So she turns around and she says, I'm going to stand my ground. You can try anything, but I can prove my chastity to you. Much like a Sita who had to go through an Agni Pariksha, she stands and she goes through all the different unimaginable Agni Parikshas that Parshurama puts her through. And when she comes out triumphant and unscathed, Parshurama has this to say.
Mother, you are magical.
Ah,
You're stupendous.
right,
You're amazing.
of course.
But why won't you tell me who my father is? I have to figure out a way in which I can extract this information from you.
Renuka has had enough by now. She turns around and she says, Parshurama, your father is Jamadagni. He lives on Gokak Gudda. I don't think he knows anything about you. I don't think he knows you exist. And he doesn't want anything to do with you. I'm pretty sure. But if you still want to go meet him, go. And he goes. He goes because he wants to find out. He has gone through something so dramatic, he has to find out. And what he finds out is that yes, he has a father, but he has been beheaded and his body sits in Gokak Gutta. This is what sends Parashurama reeling into a frenzy, a mad murdering spree. He wants to find out what happened to Jamadagni, goes around killing people who stand in the way of the truth. With this killing, it takes him to Saudatti, to Kartiviraja's court, and he finds Kamadhenu there with Jamadagni's head hanging in Kamadhenu's neck. So he escorts Kamadhenu back after killing Kartiviraja and his men, puts Jamadagni's head back, and with the powers of Kamadhenu, Jamadagni comes back.
Father.
Who are you?
I am Parshurama, son of Renuka Devi, hence your son.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
What do you want, Parshurama?
I want your love, your affection, your wisdom, your name, everything a father can offer a son.
I cannot give you any of that, Parshurama, but I can give you my name under one condition.
Just name it, Father, and it shall be done.
Behead your mother. Parshurama is posed with a difficult choice. He's a young kid and he loves his mother, no doubt. But mother is like a glass of milk going cold on the table. And father seems like an access code to the world, a surname. He chooses father. And he walks all the way back home to speak to his mother.
Mother, you love me, don't you?
Yes, Parshurama.
You'd do anything for me, wouldn't you?
Yes, Parshurama.
Father wants you dead. You'd die for me, wouldn't you?
Yes, Parshurama. The son takes the mother's hand and escorts her up Gokak Gudda. Now, my folk teacher, my mentor, she does this scene where the son is escorting her. It's a small, tiny stage, and she keeps singing this one song, which basically says, Rama, I trusted you'd do better. I trusted you'd pick me. I hoped and dreamt of it, but here I am. And she does this scene for a long time, even though the song has never been that long. The song goes like this. Ninna nanu nambidenu magane Rama, ninna nanu nambidenu. Ninna nanu nambidenu magane Rama, ninna nanu nambidenu. Asarillada balli habidarenu. ಆಸರಿಲ್ಲದ ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಪಿದರೇನು ಸರಿಯೋ ತಪ್ಪೋ ಇದ್ದರು up again and she continues to walk. When the play got over, I remember asking her this. Why do you circle the stage so much? That scene is endless. Why does it go on for so long? And you know what she told me? I don't let go this scene till everyone cries. Yallar alatana na ee scene mugsala. That's when it hit me. That is our moment for a group catharsis. As a community, we must all cry for that Renuka so another Renuka is not born. Ninna nanu navidenu magane Rama ninna nanu navidenu ye ninna nanu navidenu magane Rama 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 ninna nanu navidenu ಆಸರಿಲ್ಲದ ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಪಿದರೇನು ಆಸರಿಲ್ಲದ ಬಳ್ಳಿ ಹಾಪಿದರೇನು ಸರಿಯೋ ತಪ್ಪೋ ಇರದು ಹೇಗೆ ನಿನ್ನ ನಾನು ನಂಬಿದೆನು. She walks, crying, sobbing, wiping off her sweat and tears. She lands up in front of Jamadagni. Son makes her stand in front of her ex-husband and he takes his axe and he beheads her. Her head rolls onto the ground and he looks up, and where her head once stood, another head seems to be growing. He panics. He picks up his axe and he swings again, getting rid of another head. And another head seems to be growing. Swings again and again and again and again and again and again. Hundreds of heads to the left, hundreds of heads to the right. She is still producing more heads. Parshurama, bathed in his mother's blood, turns to his father and he says,
Father, mother's not dying.
Jamadagni says, if she's not dying, Parshurama, then Shiva has placed an amulet somewhere deep within her. Extract that amulet, then she will surely die. So, Parshurama agrees to do what his father has suggested and slits open her rib cage. Pulls apart her rib cage and he finds an amulet in the form of a kalsa. The minute he pulls it out, it disappears and it reaches Shiva. He then beheads her again and she's dead. Jamadagni is very impressed. He says, Bhesh Parshurama Bhesh, I'm impressed with you. I will give you my name and I will grant you a wish. Tell me, Parshurama, what do you want?
Father, no heaven's doors will open for a man who has killed his own mother.
ತಾಯಿ ಅಕ್ಷರ ಕಡದು ಪಾಪಿ ಅದೇನಲ್ಲ ಏ ರಾಮೋ ರಾಮೋ
Hey Rama Rama,
ತಾಯಿ ಕೊಂದವರೀಗ ಸ್ವರ್ಗವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಏ ರಾಮೋ ರಾಮೋ
ತಾಯಿ ಕೊಂದವರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವರ್ಗವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೇ ರಾಮ ರಾಮ. I want mother back.
And for that one wish, when he asks for mother, Jamadagni says, go to Shiva. I can't bring your mother back. She's been protected by Shiva and only Shiva can bring her back. Long story short, Parshurama goes to Shiva, gets the kalasa, comes back, puts it back into his mother's rib cage, sews her back on with a head. And she comes back alive.
Udha Udha.
Udha. But she's not come back alive the same. She's not just Renuka. She's Renuka Yallamma. Yallamma means Yallara Amma, means everyone's mama, Yallamma. And she also comes back so different that you could call her Renuka 2.0. She's definitely wiser and smarter than the older one. She takes one look at Jamadagni. She says, Jamadagni, I've had enough with you. This marriage was never going to work. I don't want to see you again. Get lost.
How dare you?
Parshu? Parsha? You have wasted too many heads of mine. Use the strength and might in your arms. Fling every head in every direction. And wherever a head will be born, a version of me will be born. Wherever a head falls, a version of me will be born. She will have her own name. She'll be prayed to in another language, maybe. She'll have her own story, but she is me and I am also her. You need so many of us, and you will keep needing so many of us to remind y'all what is the right way to treat a woman. After which, Parshu, stay out of my sight. I banish you down south. Go and land up in Kerala or somewhere and don't turn up and show me your face. And Parshurama obeyed. He actually came further south and landed up in Kerala. Now, what is to become of Renuka Yallamma? She was a Kshatriya princess. She tells herself, I am a Kshatriya. There is a land where my son has gone and massacred the king, and there is a kingdom without a king. And I will go and rule and bring peace to that country. So she goes down and sits down on that throne. Kartiviraja's women come running to her and say, please bring back our husband. Because without him, we have no reason to live. And she knows this conundrum way too well. She says, whoa. Let me do you one better. Bring me Kartiviraja, she says. They bring Kartiviraja's body.
She breaks off his head, scoops out his skull, and makes the chaudki.
She scoops out his ribcage and she makes the shruti.
She skins his back and puts membranes on both the instruments.
She breaks his thigh bone for the shruti stick, and she breaks his forearm for the chaudki.
She pulls out his intestines and strings the instruments.
And she breaks his thumb to hold the string in place and his little finger to strike the string. She gives it to the women and she says, here, you don't need the man. And you don't need the system that oppressed you that was made by the man. Walk out, find sisterhood. Liberate yourselves no matter what caste, class you belong to. Find strength in my name and my story and be my Devadasis, she said. Hundreds of them, thousands of them, if not millions, I imagine, walked across this country. You may not have heard of Renuka up north here, but in down south we have a lot of Renuka temples. And as it turns out, there is a Renuka lake up in Kashmir. You know about it? And there is a Renuka temple far down south in Sri Lanka. And in between, there are thousands of Renuka stories, little different than the other, constantly traveling and including more pain and more misery of women that have to be voiced. So to her, we say, Udha, Udha. Say it with me. Udha, Udha. Udha, Udha. Exercise your diaphragm, guys. Try it. I know it's really late in the night, but try it. It'll give you the energy after hearing this story. Udha, Udha Devi, Ninaga Namo Namo Tae.
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 Udha Devi, Ninaga Namo Namo Tae. Udha Devi, Ninaga Namo Namo Tae.
Udha Devi, Ninaga Namo Namo Tae.
Yaddabayalawa Tangi Nadagiya Nodeni.
Udha Devi, Ninaga Namo Namo Tae.
Bali Gordaga Yiruake. Bali Gordaga Yiruake.
ನಮೋ ತಾಯೇ ಉಧ ಉಧ ದೇವಿ ನಿನಗ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ತಾಯೇ
ಒಗಟೂರು ಊರಿಗೂ ಬಾಂದಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ಕೊಂಡ ಪಾಲವಲಾದಿ
ಒಗಟೂರು ಊರಿಗೆ ಬಾಂದಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ಗೊಂಡ ಪಾಲವಲರಿ
ಒಗಟೂರು ಊರಿಗೆ ಬಾಂದಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ಕೊಂಡ ಪಾಲವಲಾದಿ
ಒಗಟೂರು ಊರಿಗೆ ಬಾಂದಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ಗೊಂಡ ಪಾಲವಲರಿ
ರಾಯಗೊಂಡ ಪಾಲವಲಾದಿ ನಿನ ಗುಧೋ ಬುಧೋ ದೇವಿ
ಉಧ ಉಧ ದೇವಿ ನಿನಗ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ತಾಯೇ ಉಧ ಉಧ ದೇವಿ ನಿನಗ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ತಾಯೇ
ಉಧ ಉಧ ದೇವಿ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ತಾಯೇ ಉಧ ಉಧ ದೇವಿ ನಿನಗ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ತಾಯೇ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ತಾಯೇ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ತಾಯೇ we literally have just a minute, and we're almost done.
Almost.
Just quickly. We are not folk artists. This is something that's very dear to us, and we must tell you. We are not folk artists.
And this is not a folk performance.
This is 8 years of our life researching this deity and the communities that are marginalized who are working to keep this culture alive. So we must say thank you to our teachers and our mentors, our transgender family that we know from Ballari. So I'll quickly take their names. Please allow us. Manjamma B. Jogati, Ramaka B. Jogati, Anjanamma Jogati. All of them come from a small family in Ballari who we learned from. Radhabai Madar, who is a renowned player of the Chaudiki, the only probably living Chaudiki player, who told me once that Zakir Hussain yena bharastan nanak torusna Chaudiki nag bharas torustini. Basically, I'll play whatever Zakir Hussain plays on 2 tablas. I'll show you on the Chaudki, she said, and that stayed with me. She's a big inspiration. And Lakshman Master, who was, as a child when I grew up watching the Renuka, he was the Renuka that I fell in love with, so I must take his name. And also my grandmother, who reminded me why I have to be proud of my heritage and keep it going. Thank you so much. This is Aditya Kotakota.
Shilpa Mudbi Kotakota.
And we are Urban Folk Project. Thank you so much for being an amazing audience.
Thank you, Udaipur Tales.
Big round applause for Urban Folk Project, Aditya and Shilpa. क्या हम एक साथ खड़े होके बोल सकते हैं उधा उधा?
Yes. Udha Udha.
Udha.
Once again, please, Udha Udha. Udha Udha. Thank you so much, everyone. It was a beautiful performance. Thank you so much, Aditya. Thank you so much, Shilpa. We are short of words. I'm sure everyone is feeling the same. They have experienced it for the first time. इस स्टोरी को इस तरह से शायद किसी ने नहीं सुना है, ना ही एक्सपीरियंस किया है. With that kind of music and everything.
Thank you
That's
so
all.
much. You've been lovely. Thank you, Udaipur Tales. This place has really been magical. And I think I will remember this place beyond the cold that it's supposed to put me through. Thank you.
I don't know if you all could notice we were shivering on stage. Yeah, thank you.